Ever wondered why an apple falls from a tree and lands on the ground instead of floating away? Well, this seemingly simple act is the result of an invisible force at work, a force we call gravity. Gravity is the tether that binds us all, the pull that keeps us grounded. It's the force that draws two objects towards each other, the invisible hand that guides the fall of an apple from a tree to the earth below. Imagine a world where gravity didn't exist. Your coffee would float right out of its cup, and we'd all be drifting aimlessly in space. But what is this gravity, really? It's not just the force that pulls apples to the ground. It's a fundamental law of nature, an unseen power that governs the motion of our planet around the sun, the moon around the earth, and the stars in our galaxy. So, it's gravity that keeps everything from floating off into space. Quite a marvel, isn't it? But how does gravity actually work? Well, let's dive into the law of universal gravitation. Imagine magnets. You know how they pull towards each other, right? It's similar with the law of universal gravitation, except it applies to absolutely everything in the universe. Every object, big or small, exerts a pull on every other object. Think about tossing an apple into the air. It comes back down, right? That's the Earth pulling on it. Now, this doesn't mean that the apple isn't also pulling on the Earth. It is. But the Earth is so much bigger, so its pull is much stronger. This pull, this gravitational force, is proportional to the mass of the objects and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Put simply, the bigger the object, the stronger the pull, and the closer objects are to each other, the stronger the pull. In other words, the Earth's size gives it a strong pull, keeping us grounded. Did you know that without gravity we wouldn't exist as we know now? Quite a thought, isn't it? But it's the truth. Gravity, this unseen force, is a key player in our existence. It's like an invisible glue holding everything in place. Let's take our atmosphere, for instance. Without the gravitational force exerted by our planet, the gases that form our atmosphere would simply float away into space. And without an atmosphere, life as we know it would cease to exist. No oxygen to breathe, no protection from harmful solar radiation. A pretty grim picture, right? But gravity's role extends far beyond our blue planet. It's instrumental in the formation of planets, stars, and galaxies. It pulls together dust and gas, creating cosmic bodies over billions of years. Without it, the universe would be nothing more than a vast, chaotic soup of particles. Gravity, in essence, is the silent architect of our universe. But what happens when gravity changes or disappears? Well, let's consider the moon. It has 1/6 the gravity of Earth, which means if you weigh 200 pounds on Earth, you'd weigh about 33 pounds on the moon. That's why astronauts can leap high and carry heavy equipment with ease on the lunar surface. Now let's venture a bit further into space where gravity is virtually non-existent. Astronauts in space experience weightlessness, which can lead to some interesting physical changes. For instance, without the pull of gravity, their spines elongate, causing them to grow taller. However, these changes are not permanent and revert once they return to Earth. Moreover, the lack of gravity can cause muscle and bone density loss, as our bodies don't have to work as hard to fight against gravity. This is why astronauts exercise for about 2 hours each day in space. So, gravity has a profound effect on our bodies and the world around us. Gravity, though invisible, is a fundamental part of our lives. It's an unseen force that keeps our feet planted firmly on the ground, and our planet in a steady orbit around the sun. Ever present and always at work, gravity is the silent puppeteer of the cosmos. We've journeyed together through the intriguing world of gravity, exploring its definition. A force that attracts two bodies towards each other, its workings according to the law of universal gravitation. Every particle of matter in the universe attracts every other particle with a force proportional to the product of their masses, and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between their centers. We've examined its role in our existence, serving as the glue that holds entire galaxies together. And we've touched on its effects from the simple act of dropping a ball to the grandeur of a spiraling galaxy. So next time when an apple falls from a tree, remember it's not just falling, it's being pulled by an invisible yet powerful force: gravity.